All right. What's up, everybody? It's another episode of Dave's R&R Rants and Reviews with your host, Dave. We're only a couple days into 2023, and there's some big subjects that we need to talk about today. I've got two major ones that have happened so far. First, in the wrestling world, Sasha Banks is back, not in the WWE though, so we'll discuss that. And then we have a show that's been canceled by Netflix, 1899, that's causing some controversy. I'm here to sound off on that as well, but we'll start with that news in the wrestling world. A while ago last year, Sasha Banks and Naomi walked away from the WWE. Rumors are swirling about Naomi returning, but the question has been, what's Sasha gonna do? She's the bigger name here. She's one of the biggest draws. Is she gonna eventually come back to WWE, especially if Triple H in charge, or is she gonna go elsewhere? Well, a few days ago, we found out she returned at Wrestle Kingdom under a new name, Mercedes Mone, keeping that whole money, banks, all that stuff alive. And she's going to be facing off against a former WWE wrestler, Kairi Sane, in February for the women's title in that promotion. So she is done with the WWE for the time being. And rumors are also swirling of her going to AEW and making a presence there soon. And the thing about Sasha Banks, or now referred to as Mercedes Mone, is that she's probably one of the more polarizing women wrestlers we've ever had. She has some of the biggest stands out there, if not the biggest stands out there. Everyone coming to her defense over every little thing. But also seems like she has the biggest haters of haters. People hate on her for, I don't know what the specific reasons are, but it just seems like there's a lot of people rooting against her as well. So she's a very polarizing figure. And while I don't stand her, I do think she is one of the best wrestlers out there on the women's side. She's a great talent. She always puts on great matches. So I think this is good news all around. While it would have been cool to see her back in WWE, and I do hope she returns eventually because we really do need a four horsewomen main event at WrestleMania down the line. I think this is going to be big for other promotions in their women's division, specifically AEW. Now, I'm not the biggest AEW supporter out there, but one of their biggest flaws that everybody knows is they have a super weak women's division and they don't give the women a lot of time on screen. So I think if Mercedes does go to AEW, this is really going to force Tony Khan's hand, because if you have one of the biggest draws, the biggest women draw outside of WWE, the biggest merch seller on the women's side outside the WWE, you got to showcase the women a lot more in your program. So it's going to force Tony's hand to make that presence even bigger if she does show up. It's still an if, but I think it's definitely going to happen. And it puts eyes on outside promotions as well, like New Japan. This event coming up in February, I think there's going to be a lot of eyes on it. The arena it's in San Jose is going to sell out. Tickets are already getting low on that. So her name being attached to it's definitely going to put more eyes on that product. So while Sasha Banks does have a fair share of haters and a fair share of stands, I think this is a good move for her. She can make even a bigger name for herself, because in WWE she was kind of stalling out from time to time based off booking. I do think if she returns she would be booked a lot stronger, but she can use this time to raise the women's division and other promotions as well, which I think is a good thing all around, because if they step up, WWE has to step up as well. So Mercedes Mone, we wish you the best of luck outside of WWE. The other thing I would like to discuss this episode is another Netflix cancellation. This time the show 1899. And I'm not going to lie, I haven't watched this show. I haven't heard too much about it, but people are upset, they're raging, they're saying cancel Netflix because the show got canceled. You know, Netflix does have some notorious cancellations. They cancel a lot of shows after one season. But I think people are getting all up in arms a little too much for this. The big thing about Netflix is they just put out show after show after show. You know, they're looking for the next big hit. And they've had their big hits over time. They've had Outer Banks, You, the list goes on and on. And this show, 1899, it came out just about the same time as Wednesday. We all know Wednesday's probably the biggest show out there right now. So it didn't have the greatest start to it. But Netflix doesn't just cancel a show just because. They have so many advanced statistics that we don't really get to see. And it seems like a big one is completion rate. And while 1899 has some fans, it doesn't seem like the general public really completed the show, the season one, in its full entirety. So personally, I think it's just another time. It seems to happen every other month. The show gets canceled by Netflix, and everybody's like, this is it. I'm canceling Netflix. Netflix is going to go down. There's other streaming services. But the truth of the matter is, so many shows get canceled after one season. I don't think that's what people realize. You look time after time after time again, it doesn't matter if it's Netflix, doesn't matter if it's cable TV, doesn't matter if it's a different network, doesn't matter if it's a different streaming service. Shows get canceled all the time after one season for various reasons. And the people at Netflix, they've done it long enough now. They're the most successful streaming service out there. They don't just cancel a show to cancel a show. They have their reasoning behind it. 1899 had a huge budget. So if you have a huge budget, you do have to be a huge success. And while it does have its following, it just didn't have enough success to keep it going on. So while this is probably one of the hottest takes I've had on this show, I'm sorry for everyone that is upset about 1899 being canceled. In my eyes, it just is what it is. I still may check out the show eventually. You know, being canceled after one season doesn't stop me from watching a show. If it's good enough, I will eventually get to it. But I think it's just another case of everybody getting up in arms, and you know you're still going to keep your subscription. If you do cancel it, you're going to subscribe in a couple months again, because there's going to be some other show on there that you want to watch. So while be mad, if you want to be mad, it's going to happen again and again. It doesn't matter if you're on HBO Max, doesn't matter if you're on Paramount Plus, Peacock, Netflix, Hulu, doesn't matter. Shows will be canceled after one or two seasons. It just is what it is. Luckily, with all the streaming services out there, there's plenty of options of shows to watch. So, sorry if you're a fan of the show, but it is what it is. I'm sure in another month we'll have another rage about some other show being canceled. And that's it for today's episode. Another quick one. We're going into 2023 with some big news. A show on Netflix being canceled that's causing up in arms. And Mercedes Mone outside of WWE looking to make a wave. It's only been a couple days in the year, so I'm really excited what other news we're going to have in 2023, what other big surprises we're going to have. We're going to keep rolling forward here on Dave's R&R. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. We're going to try to keep churning out the episodes as much as possible. For the wrestling fans, I hope you like the Wrestling Wednesdays we're doing on social media. That's at Dave's R&R. We're a couple weeks into that now. And hopefully we'll get some more reviews going, some, mini reviews on there as well when I don't get time to record the shows. Maybe we'll get some streaming of some video games going along the line. But you know how we do it here. It's just a mixed bag of different stuff. And thank you for listening. Keep on supporting. Everybody have a great week, and let's keep going forward in 2023.